morning, everybody.
Well,
I love it. Did you just take the show over, Jose?
yeah.
Well, Cliff was adjusting the paperwork, and I didn't want the awkward silence.
So, can we take a vote on that?
What?
It's a good morning.
I think it's a good morning.
Oh, okay. Eileen, is it a good morning?
Apparently, any morning you wake up and you're breathing is a good morning.
All right.
Amen to that.
I'll go with that. All right. So the deficit's at 38.701 trillion. It was 12 degrees outside, according to my phone. And we're getting bad weather Saturday morning. So what are we looking at? 2-3 inches?
Yes, 2 or 3 inches.
A dusting compared to what we got.
Yeah.
Still, it's a pain. Could
Yeah.
be. It could. There's a slim possibility it could be more, but
So, in history, on this day in 1788, Massachusetts becomes the 6th state to ratify the U.S. Constitution. I wish we could have been quicker.
well, that's what we like the federal government. Now we wouldn't have ratified it, right? Because the
don't know.
Republicans are in power.
It's it's interesting. Apparently a lot of people have forgotten the Supremacy Clause. In 1820, the first 86 African American immigrants sponsored by the American Colonization Society depart New York to start a settlement in present-day Liberia on the west coast of Africa. Here's good news for you, Eileen. In 1918, British women over the age of 30 who met minimum property qualifications got the right to vote. That was a big step forward and not that long
So if you
ago.
had money, you could vote?
Yeah,
Interesting.
and you were over the age of 30.
How did you prove your age?
Your birth certificate.
Interesting. They had paper back then?
Yes,
Oh, good. Very old England.
and church records.
When did you say it was 1918?
Yeah.
All righty.
And this is before my time. 1978, the blizzard of 78, one of the worst nor'easters in New England history, with sustained winds of 65 miles an hour and snowfall of 4 inches an hour. Do you remember that, John?
Oh, yeah. We had chains on my car. It was great.
Back in the day. Does anybody use chains anymore?
We still have them, and we use them when it's super bad.
Okay. So in 1985, on this date, Babe Ruth was born. He passed away in 1948. In 1908, Edward Lansdale, American general and CIA agent, was born. He died in 1987. If they had put him in charge of Vietnam instead of some army guy, we might have won. Ronald Reagan was born this day in 1911.
Good president.
The next year, Eva Braun, wife of Adolf Hitler, was born. Zsa Zsa Gabor was born in 1917. Natalie Cole in 1950. And passing away on this day, Barbara Tuchman in 1989. We just talked about a birthday within the last 2 weeks.
The girl who owns Top Donut, Wendy Lay, it's her birthday today, too.
Oh, good.
Happy birthday, delicious donuts.
Her and her husband, Robin, they own Top Donut.
Danny Thomas passed away on this day in 1991. And in 2007, Frankie Lane passed away. You know Frankie Lane, John?
I remember the name, but I don't know what he was probably a singer or something.
Yeah. Like, he sang the theme to High Noon. Oh, don't forsake me, oh my darling, on this our wedding day.
Hey, Cliff, is there a dress code at the licensing commission? You were best dressed. I sent you a picture. Did you get my picture? Did you get it?
Yes, I got that. I thought that Michael Zane was pretty well turned out.
Oh, Michael Drain looked like $1 million.
And
Looks like a football player.
Commissioner, yes, Underwood looked pretty nice. Yeah, it's kind of fallen off a little bit.
Yeah, it seems like less than professional dress code. They don't realize they're on TV. What is that? The Democrat? Well, let's dress down. We don't like this president. What do you think's going on there?
I think there's becoming a general consensus where dressing up isn't really something people find necessary anymore.
Well, when you turn on the TV news, do you expect them to be wearing T-shirts?
You have a valid point. At least put on a nice.
No, that's a
polo
question.
shirt.
That's a
No,
question.
no,
What do you expect? Bathing suits?
Oh no.
So you turn on News Center 25 to watch the news, and they're sitting there in torn T-shirts.
No, yeah, I mean that's not very appealing right out the gate.
So if you are representing representative in government, they have all these nifty shirts that say their name. I'm a big shot at the Life-Saving Club of New York.
Yeah. No.
But if you're on the board of a city, I usually just hit the hamper, find something that doesn't have a stain on it, and I wear that to the meeting.
Yeah.
Same thing, city council. They go to city. I'm going to talk to all city councilors. They go down there, T-shirt. Well, that's the best they have. I doubt it. That's just me. I know I could be a prick.
On the other hand, I think that people who appear before the License Commission should come in a shirt and tie.
Proper attire, yes. Proper attire is desired. That's how you put it. Like here, everybody gets a text. Proper attire is desired. If you know, I didn't, that doesn't mean me. Well, who the hell do you think it meant? I sent the text to you. Who did you think it meant?
That's no, definitely. I think that. Plus, you just certain places you want to show up looking sharp. Nice tie, nice shirt. It's
What do you think, Eileen?
Well, I agree with Jose that it's a lost art for anybody to dress up anymore. And but I do think it's nice, especially in the schools. I mean, like you see teachers dressed down more and more today, and it's just another piece of like kids not being respectful too. I think it's important for a teacher to dress up and hold that type of, I'm here to teach you. You should listen to me. You know what I mean? And yeah, you want to see people dressed up when they're on the news and so forth. And I remember just being a kid and having the feelings like, I wonder what I'll be when I grow up. Like, I wonder if I'll dress like this person or that person. You know what I mean? And so there is something to be said for that.
Oh yeah, lead by example.
I mean, any given time you see me just in a pair of Levi's and a T-shirt, but my dad, he was born in 1928, so that man every morning at 6 o'clock in the morning, like clockwork, he was getting out of the shower and putting on his nice dress, even if he was just sitting on the couch. He had his dress pants on. I don't think he probably owned as many jeans as I own dress pants. It was the minority in his arsenal of clothing. It was always nice dress pants and a nice button-up shirt. Always looking sharp, no matter what. I mean, if we were going to the market or we were going to McDonough's, he just always dressed up. Maybe not the whole tie and everything every day, but it's a generational thing. Before you know it, you're going to be seeing teachers going to school in sweatpants, and in
And
pajama pants.
I remember always seeing my dad dressed to the nines when he went to work, and always. And like, even look at John McDonough and Cliff. There's always in a suit and a nice shirt and a tie. Not a tie for John, but a tie for Cliff. But you always have like a nice button down, and that speaks for something too.
Actually, I hadn't even thought about
Thank you,
that.
Eileen.
I don't think I've ever seen either one of you in a T-shirt or,
I don't.
wearing a pair of jeans and a T-shirt. Just
I wear a sports shirt. I don't wear T-shirts because they don't have a pocket for my pen.
okay.
I always carry a pen, and now I need a pocket for my glasses.
Yeah, I'm so bad that I don't need a pocket because they're always on my nose. So
man.
today is the International Day of Zero Tolerance to Female Genital Mutilation. It's a UN thing. Is that a concern among women, Eileen?
I mean, I don't wake up and think about my genitals being mutilated, so maybe not in this country.
Yeah, but there are in other countries. It's strange.
What countries do that?
Middle East?
Middle East?
Is that a country?
No.
Okay.
There are countries in the Middle East.
What, namely?
Uh,
Does Saudi Arabia do it?
It's been done yeah.
In 2026. I know they had crucifixion back in the last century, but in this century.
I was having a conversation last night at the event, and somebody actually brought up the fact that I think it was in Texas. They're like, oh, I was so happy when I seen that they banned Sharia law in Texas. And I was like, excuse me? I said, you were so happy about that, but like how many people are getting stoned in the streets? Or, actually that extremism, that belief happening here in 2026 in the United States. Like, well, in their country, it's like, yeah, but you're banning something that is not, when somebody does any of those things here, they're going to jail. You're kind of grandstanding on that.
Maybe not. In England, they've got a serious problem that the government's not willing to fess up to of child sexual abuse, grooming of little girls and having sex with them, and nobody's going to jail.
Yeah, see, that's the.
Well,
That's
wait
a
a
good
second now.
difference
Wait a
between us
second,
and them.
Cliff.
Wait,
How old?
Jose
How
was
old?
talking.
No.
Go ahead.
Never mind. Please proceed.
I want to hear what you
Please
had to say because I'm bringing the feet off.
Catholic. Please proceed, super duper Catholic. I have a pie for you. Are you ready for your pie in the face?
Is it 3 point something?
How old was the Blessed Virgin when she gave birth to Jesus?
I don't know.
You certainly do.
I do?
Yeah.
Okay, how old was she?
She was 13.
I am surprised.
Oh, what do you mean, super duper Catholic? Quick to correct me, Catholic? I'll ask
John?
Google.
John?
Yes.
Try and curtail the paranoia, will you?
Did I tell you that Sam Meese says hello?
He was there last night. He actually.
Yeah, I'll fan through your pictures pretty soon.
I should have turned down that. Well, they had buy one get one free margaritas yesterday, and I was like, I'm not really gonna have too much to drink. I gotta be up early, and it seemed like everybody that got a margarita, that free one, was bringing it over to Jose, and it was. But
and you didn't want to embarrass them by not drinking it.
and they were mango, they were tasty, but I think what I find surprising is how me and John Stinkin actually aligned so much because that's what I said to this individual. I was like, and I'm not trying to. Maybe we're just having a little debate and you want to have a little fun. And it's like, think back in the time of, because, they spent probably more than they should have talking about Sharia law and, Muslim this, Muslim that. And it's like, how many people, how many Muslims and so on were killed during the Crusades? When it was literally the point was to eradicate any other, Muslims and anybody that didn't practice Christianity. And obviously the conversation switched to something else right away, but you're getting rid of something that isn't an issue. I get it, but you could be doing a million other things in Texas, like immigration reform and things like that, than just making your base happy with empty words, But that's my opinion. Everybody has one.
Okay. Today's Ronald Reagan Day in California. And today is Sami National Day in Norway, Sweden, Finland, and Russia. There we go. So, did I introduce you, Jose? No, I did not.
No, I started the show by taking the reins, like Eileen pointed out. And
so, we have Jose here. By trade, you're a Mason.
Yes, sir.
And then we have Eileen, who's an educator. And we have John McDonough, our producer, kibitzer. So, it's almost time for one of the most exciting Sundays of the year, Super Bowl. 8 February, 6:30 Eastern Time on NBC. Our New England Patriots will face those Seattle Seahawks. And it's going to be in Levi's Stadium, home of the San Francisco 49ers, in Santa Clara, California. And for those that don't know where Santa Clara is, if you think about where San Francisco is, there's the bay on the east side of San Francisco that goes up and down, and you go to the very bottom. That's Santa Clara, which is near San Jose. And so we all know the way to San Jose, right? The halftime act is going to be headlined by Bad Bunny, whose real name is Benito Antonio Martinez Ocasio. And that makes him the first Hispanic solo artist to perform at this event, which has been going on for 60 years. And there's some question about, is he the appropriate act for the halftime?
He's very talented in a lot of ways. Not a fan of all of his music.
But he just won, like 5 Grammys? He had, like, one of the top selling albums. Like, if we take away, because I know there's going to be a opposing halftime show. So if we take away the rhetoric on paper, on Sunday, by accolades as an artist, there's nobody performing on Sunday night on either side more qualified than him to do the job. But because he doesn't speak Spanish, like English a lot, he doesn't have any English songs. We all heard the rhetoric that they're having the
I thought he was from Puerto Rico.
He is. Well, that's the funny thing when you see people online telling them that, go back to his country, that he's a U.S. citizen. But, it became a whole big thing with Turning Point having their America First, or whatever they're calling it, halftime show. And all I think that's doing is growing divides, But I think, I don't really listen too much to his music. Some of his songs are really, really good. Some of them I don't care for, but the guy definitely has the credentials to be doing the halftime show, probably more than anybody in recent years.
So he had a press release in which he said It's for those who came before me and ran countless yards so I could come in and score a touchdown. This is for my people, my culture, and our history. Our history is Hispanic history? American history? I don't know.
That's a good question. I mean, he had me until that last part where I was just stated the other side was spewing division. Is he trying to do the same thing too? Be a good question to ask him.
So, I saw the Bud ad. They're still trying to recover. It's the Clydesdales, and it's a pretty good ad. So,
Are they back to being the top-selling beer in the country?
no, they're not. They lost that.
Yeah, to Modelo, I know a couple of. Ironically, they lost their spot to a Mexican beer.
No, Michelob Light's number one, isn't it?
Could be now. I know that when Bud Light got taken off the top.
No, Michelob Light killed Bud Light right away.
Yeah.
They never got it back.
Hey, I still drink Bud Light. I still watch football too when people are banning it. I'm not gonna give up something I enjoy. I was telling the wife the other day, I'm like, oh, you want to give me a Coke? I'm like, there was a time that people were telling me if I drink Coca-Cola, I wasn't Mexican enough and I couldn't do that. There's no way in hell that I am going to drink a Pepsi because somebody's telling me that it's not the Mexican thing to do. If anything, now there's more Coke for me.
So, and there's taste. For instance, I drink, when I drink beer, which is at least once a decade, I drink Bitburger pills. My kids think it's terrible, the taste. But, who can tell?
I don't think I've ever heard of that.
Oh,
I'm not sure if I see the label. Maybe I've seen it before.
yeah.
What was it again?
Bitburger pills.
Pitburger pills. Sounds like a made-up word. But
I used to, in the morning, would watch the horse-drawn wagon coming from the brewery to the brewmeister's house, which was around the corner from me, and he'd take a taste of the overnight product.
That's interesting, huh?
Yeah. So,
I'm a Scotch drinker myself, over beer, anyways. Well, last night I was a margarita drinker.
so
Oh yeah, I wanted to say I would say that alcoholism, racism, Jose, that they were doing that to you, bringing you over all the margaritas.
Hey, I enjoyed it. Those mango margaritas there, I'm telling you, they're something else.
So what was this event that you were at last night?
It was just a community networking event.
For the acre?
No, just for the city.
Oh, for the city?
Yeah, just whoever, wherever, I mean.
It was just for Jose's friends.
No.
What's the story with this city? 3,686 Democrats turned out for the election. That was Tuesday. That's not very many.
I wish I wasn't right when it came to that. I was on the radio earlier that day, and it was like, oh, Will said we were going to have a 10 to 12%. I predict an 8%. I literally laughed, and I said, we'll be lucky if we get 5% voter turnout. We had a 4.8 last time I checked.
How would you know it was voting day?
I mean, the same way that they know to ban Bud Light, social media. But no, you're right. I seen a sign.
It's the second time that the administration has fallen down on their duty to notify the public. I didn't get a text message. I'm supposed to get a text as time to vote.
Oh yes, I was gonna ask you. I know I didn't get any text messages ever from anybody. Listen, it's on the. I mean, I don't disagree with you, but also, it's on the candidates as much as it is on that.
Excuse me, who paid for the election?
I mean, Yeah, that's true.
Well, no, answer the
No,
question.
the city, yeah.
Okay.
John, don't
Yeah.
be pedantic.
No, no,
Now,
he's,
if the city's going to be boasting about Winterfest, right, or are they going to keep it under their wraps? Are they going to be bragging about Winterfest?
oh, that's coming up soon.
Or are they just going to let it go by and don't tell anybody?
That's true. That's true. I mean, if we, yeah, I know there's going to be
The
banners.
City
up
Lights
for it
Parade,
now.
did they make that a big secret?
You got me there. I mean, we should be advertising these elections as much as we advertise the fun parts.
So you didn't know there was an election Tuesday?
Clifford, don't be silly.
And I think there's not too many people that sit in this room, whether it's on a Monday or on Tuesday, that didn't know. But it's the average. You know how many people, when I left the house before I went to vote, I like to talk. You guys know that. And just random people. And I'd be like, hey, did you vote today? They're like, what? For what? I'm like, Senate. How many people I even just had to tell what the senator does? And they're like, oh, I didn't know that. I'm going to go vote, right now. Or, oh, I'll go later. Obviously, I got a few, I don't care, but.
And the city council will march around and say what a wonderful job that the administration has done over the fantastic job. It's terrible. What this election cost us?
Well, didn't they ask, and if they didn't, they should, to make a subcommittee? I think Vesnanoon or somebody put a petition for it last year to do like a subcommittee to see what we can do to increase voter turnout. We have to do something. Because these numbers, I mean, they're horrible. Especially you would figure for a Senate race, even if it was a primary, it was one of the nicest days we've had all year. It really was. They made it easy for you to get out there and vote. 5% are deciding the future, at least till November in the 2 years of what the representation we're going to have at the State House. That's pretty.
So, Jose, I'm
awful.
on your page here, and you can see what's on the screen now. Which one of these would represent the party that you had last night?
Oh, that's. I think that one Sakari was talking right there, but
This one?
we scroll around to the room too, and you see Belinda Duran, Erin Gendron, Joe Espinola, Sam Mees back there. Councilor Kim Scott was there. Corey Robinson.
You got to pan slow, buddy. Slow.
Yes. Like I said, those damn margaritas. See, there's Corey and Kim. Oh, Councilor Corey Robinson and Councilor Kim Scott. Sakari's up. Sakari Chow's on the microphone. That was such a good time. It really was.
So we're good with that. You want to show any more?
You could show some of the that picture right there on the. Yeah, that was right before I went up and gave my little speech there.
Let me drag that onto the screen a little bit more.
We had a good amount of local business owners there too, so we got to talk to different people. It was such a good time. Jenna from the commission's right there too, right in front of me in that picture. No, it was great. Hopefully next time we won't have the venue change and we can get more people to come out. We had a couple raffles. Erin won a bottle of wine and a little gift basket. It was nice.
Beautiful. Congratulations.
Oh, thank you. And that's what we got to do, get the community together more. That's what it's about. You guys know I've been preaching that damn word community since the day you met me, but that's how it starts right there.
So, did you see in the news where Afghanistan has gone back hard on Sharia law? No education for females. Slavery is now legal again.
Well, Cliff, funny you should bring that up. I got 3 texts here. The text thing that I usually use won't come up today, so I have to restart this computer again. And if I restart the computer, we lose our connectivity with the broadcast, so we're not going to restart the computer, so it's broken for the day. So, first text. Are honor killings part of Sharia law? Don't know.
I believe so.
We can talk about, well, you can explain honor killings in just a second, Cliff, because I don't know what they are. Now that commercials and halftime shows are awful, can we get back to playing football and Super Bowl on Sunday? I like the funny commercials, but I guess they're not fun anymore. They're kind of like, I don't know what they are, but I like the one where they used to, the grandmother would shoot the kid with the Doritos, and that was kind of cool.
The 3D Doritos, those were tasty too.
Low voter turnout is part of the equation to keeping you and your friends in the system in power. That's correct.
Yeah,
So-
I don't disagree with that at all.
So, Cliff, in Sharia law, let me restate the question. Doggone phone. What is honor killing?
If your wife disrespects you by having an affair,
Where is your microphone? Why can't I hear you?
I don't know.
Can you lean the microphone towards your mouth? Microphones are not magic.
Yeah, they are.
Okay, Cliff, never mind. Nobody can hear you.
Everything.
I'll just start talking over you, and you can ignore me. But look at how pretty Cliff looks this morning. I'm sorry you can't hear him, but he's being a little stubborn with the microphone.
But electricity is magic.
You
See
need
that?
another one?
No.
No,
We're
he
doing
insists
okay.
on keeping his papers 12 inches from his mouth. He's got the papers there. I got to read this so nobody can hear me.
Oh, what happened? What happened with the iPad?
Why
Forgot
doesn't
it?
he print the pages sideways? Hey, there's an idea. He's giving me the finger.
I saw that.
Yeah, that's
What?
that's a Republican remark.
Yeah, he was pretending to point at it, but I seen what finger he was pointing with.
Yep. So what's
You
this?
you two are confused. I recommend a visit to Vinfin for both of you.
Oh, that's
A visit
okay.
to where? Valhalla?
Vinfin.
Okay. Do they have ice cream there? Pizza?
No.
Okay.
Oh,
I'm not
then-
going to go.
Chinese food across the street, though.
You might convince me with a plate of Chinese food, but no ice cream, no pizza. I'm not going.
All right. So, getting through this one, there seems to be a shift in attitude with regard to gender-affirming surgery for those younger than 19. This follows a New York court case awarding $2 million to a woman who was 16 years old when she and her mother got browbeaten into a double radical mastectomy for the 16-year-old. Her name's Fox Varian. She's now 22, and she got 1.6 for past and future suffering, and an additional 400,000 for future medical expenses.
Who's paying this?
Uh,
U.S. government?
no.
She's never going to get it then.
She what?
She's never going to get it.
Why do you say that?
She's not going to get it. Where is she going to get it? You don't know where she's going to get it from. Oh, it's
She's
gonna come
getting
from
it
flowers.
from her surgeon and her shrink, or probably their insurance.
I remember when I was growing up, people would talk about getting a tattoo. You know, you have to wait till you're 18 because it's signed that's going to be on your body. You might end up regretting it one day. You know, now you can't buy cigarettes till you're 21. You can't even join the service till you're 18. I mean, it's psychologically proven. What is it, like 23? Your brain's not fully developed till then?
Yeah,
Do I believe that an 18-year-old, we need to put restrictions on what they can and cannot do? Absolutely not. But at the same token, where do we draw the line of kids are very impressionable? You know, I mean, and again, this isn't a sex change, anti-trans thing. So anybody that wants to come after me for that, you're wrong. But that's a big decision to make for a child. I remember when there was a time that I looked at when I was 20 years old, and I thought I was a big grown man. I see a 25-year-old now, and I love the guy to death, but even in front of him, there's times where I refer to Sean McDonough as a kid. And he's not a kid, he's a smart guy.
Hey, did you ever find out why he stood at the meeting?
No.
I got to call him and ask him.
Yeah,
And then the council were like, "Oh, I can't believe it. Oh, I never saw such a thing." I'm just like,
Yeah.
so what? Why didn't you ask the guy? He was sitting right there.
There was no harm done.
He's sitting right there. Chicken. Hey, Sean, help us understand why you stood at the podium instead of just at your seat. And I can guess, but I'm not going to guess. I'll call Sean over the weekend. And
I was hoping he was going to try to make it last night, but he had another event to go to, and I don't
he had
think
to stand someplace else.
Yeah, he had to. No, yeah, so I was hoping he made. I was going to ask him that if I seen him, but
So, the American Society of Plastic Surgeons has come out and said that they think should not have these surgeries until you're 19. Eileen, you got some thoughts on this?
Yes, I don't even think a brain is fully formed at 19. So I think, obviously, age of 16 is the age of consent. 18, you're emancipated, like you're your own individual, separated from your parents. 19 seems close, but I don't know what 18 or 19-year-olds knew exactly what they were doing for the rest of their lives and had consistent stability. You know what I mean? And it's tough. That's tough all around. It's a huge decision. Even Bruce Jenner waited for after a couple of marriages and kids. He had lots of them.
oh, I'm sorry.
So,
Think about that. Like, why don't you wait and get married, have some kids first, then you can decide.
So, I've heard of school districts where the teachers and the staff will cover up the fact that some kid has decided they want to transition and they change their name, and they don't tell the parents about that.
Wasn't that a big anti-Maine talking point during the election, that in Maine your kid goes to school one way and comes way, that they don't have to have parent permission and all this and that in the school? I remember hearing some people talking about that. It's just one of those things where it's just you want to look at the issue and it's just simple. No, not till you're 18, but who's the government to tell somebody that they can't have a medical procedure? I thought any given time we wanted less government
Depends on the
involvement.
age.
Yeah. Oh yeah, 9-year-old kid, 10-year-old kid, absolutely not. That's just
How old
crazy.
in your mind
Be careful.
till I can change my gender? Eileen, you gotta mute your phone, kid.
And that's
Oh,
where,
sorry.
Personally, if you were asking me to,
I'm asking you personally,
Yeah,
when can an individual change their sex age-wise?
18, you want to do it at 16 with, people
I got you,
approving
18
it.
or
That's
16.
it.
Cliff,
Yeah.
in your mind, when should you be able to permanently change your gender? At what age?
When you're over 18 and have the money.
I say the age of 21, and you have the money.
Yeah. So, Eileen, I had a question out there which I think you ducked. Would you like to continue ducking the question?
Oh, well, I don't know if I ducked it or spaced it out or just intentionally did, but I don't think I intentionally did because I'd remember it.
Oh, okay. Do you
What
remember?
was the question, Cliff?
How come schools are covering for kids who change their name and their gender identification, and they don't
Oh.
tell the parents?
So, I did want to say something, but then I think somebody else said something. All right. So, that was all under the, what was it? It begins with a C.
HEPA? The HEPA?
No, it's where they say that we needed to teach. It's not diversity, equity, and inclusion.
They prevented that now. You can't do that at
Right.
all anymore. You can't even use, those syllables where I'm a dog, I'm a cat, your gender. And
Yes, I was talking about this the other day. Anthony has a friend who identifies as a demon. And I looked it up, and you can do that. It's under the LGBTQ community, and only students who are neurodiverse can identify as that.
Well, Eileen, I have news for you. There are a lot of old timers like myself that identify as a jet plane and try to fly to Florida, and they find out it doesn't work.
If you go out to the parking lot here around noon on Saturdays, you see them all out there trying to take
Yep.
off.
Trying to go to Florida.
Yep. John with his polo shirt with the pen in the pocket
Yep.
out there trying to.
You're just jealous, I know.
Hey, I do that. It's just, it's frowned upon. You do it. It's cute. That's not okay.
So, do you know, is it okay in low public schools for the school system to cover for the kid and exclude the parents?
Nope.
No, but it happens. It wasn't diversity, equity, and inclusion. What it begins with a C.
I honestly don't care what anybody identifies on. I'm respectful no matter what. If I say yes, sir, and you say, excuse me, I'm sorry, but do you think you can refer to me as ma'am? I'll refer to you as the upside down if you want me to, as long as you're respectful. And I'll just understand that if I misidentified your gender, it wasn't out of a place of malice. It was out of respect. I was raised that way, and when you go to get your black belt in Taekwondo like I have mine, when you walk into that dojo, I don't care if it's a 2-year-old kid or an 80-year-old grandmother. You put your hands like this, and you bow at everybody, and you say, how you doing, ma'am? How you doing, sir? It's a sign of respect. You respectfully ask me to now refer to you as ma'am or sir. Hey, what you do in, or how you feel, that's not my problem. I'm going to be respectful. Don't give me a reason not to be. You start yelling at me like you see on YouTube, I'm not a sir. Come on, that's just rude. That's just rude, Be respectful, and I'll be respectful too. I think that's where the line gets blurred, and we have this whole, honestly, Eileen, do you really care? If somebody's not a jerk, do you really care if they identified as a cat dog?
I know they're a little strange.
Yes.
This is pretty cool. Drake High School is changing their name for the weekend to Drake. Pretty cool. That's out of it. I heard it on the TV this morning. This is in today's front page, Little Sun. That Drake it to become like Drake Bay. Drake it for a day. Pretty cool idea.
Didn't Maynard do the same thing too? They added like an E to the sign.
Maybe.
They did.
Yeah, to be May.
I didn't hear about that one there, but Drake it, that's cool. Congratulations. Good thinking. Back over to you guys.
That's pretty cool.
Okay, so we had the election, and I was surprised that Vanna Howard won. I thought Rodney would win, but Vanna won convincingly.
1,000
Something
votes.
like 30%.
She's not
Yeah,
answering.
I was shocked when I saw it, but then I was like, good for her. She must have knew she had it in the bag and just was more silent about it.
I texted her to come on the show, but I never get a response.
That team worked their butts off. You got to give it to them. They were pounding on doors. They were out there hitting the pavement, getting their message out.
You know, I get a kick out of this stuff. Okay, the thing is, on the day that you want to have people go out and vote, they got to know to go out and vote. You got to get them out of their house. Oh, sure, I'll go vote for you, Jose. I'll go vote for you. I'll go vote for you. Now, you ran for election. How many people come up to you a week later and said, hey, when do we vote?
Yeah, how many people are still coming up to me asking me, about the election? It's like, what are you talking about? But yeah, no, you're right. You're 100% correct. That's why I said earlier, it's on the candidate
So
to get
what I
people
would
out there.
recommend to you and anybody else that runs for office, if you take the time to knock on Cliff's door, you shake his hand, hey, Jose, I love you, I would vote for you. Okay, Cliff, would you mind if I had your cell phone number? I'm going to send a reminder text that day.
Yeah.
Because the Democrats do it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
The Democrats not only they don't text you, they'll call your cell phone number. Say, hey, Cliff, I know that Jose popped by your house on February 12th to say hello, and we're hoping you get out and vote for him today.
Yeah. No, and they did that. They worked hard.
They did.
I was, how many people I talked to leading up to, and I'm like, 9 against Rodney, but he's playing from behind. No. I'm like, he's playing from behind. He's playing from behind.
Well, it's easy to be Monday morning quarterback. He worked hard.
No, he did.
That guy, he has gone to community meetings out in Pepperell and Dunstable and Tingsboro for years.
Oh, yeah. No, so Pepper, I was surprised. I mean, I said it when we did the election results that I was, Pepper was going to dictate what happens here. And when the Pepper numbers came out, I was shocked that there was that much of a difference. I mean, no, both of them did a great job. February elections, regular elections not easy, yet alone in February.
But Vanna had the Democratic machine and Rodney didn't.
Yeah, she had a big team that was out there every day, and hats off to them. Oh, by the way, I'm sorry, she was there last night too.
Well, that's great.
I don't want her to feel slighted or any. She did show up later on in the night, after the margaritas were really flowing. So that's why when we were naming off people that were there, I didn't mention her name.
I think Rodney should go on a cruise for a week, chill out, relax, and come back fresh.
He deserves it. That's for damn sure.
Is Rodney too much of a maverick for the people down on Beacon Hill? So therefore the support went to Vanna?
Yeah, yes, I agree.
Well, Cliff,
I feel that way.
People ask me to endorse them all the time, and I don't do it, and I'll tell you why. If I tell you, Cliff, you have to try coconut ice cream. I like coconut ice cream, and I encourage you to try it. Next time you go to the ice cream stand, you're likely not going to do coconut. You're going to get your favorite one. It's hard to get people off their choice.
I don't agree with that so much. I'm sorry, John, are you done?
Go ahead.
I think that you couldn't have two more completely opposite candidates with their hands in such different communities, right? And Rodney has his hands in certain communities, in certain areas, as does Vanna. And I think that piece of Vanna is what showed up for her vote, where and what she does for different communities and the population in those communities.
Their voting record, they're on like some progressive website, they keep track of that. Their progressive voting record is identical. We talked about that on the analysis where they were like, oh, people wanted a change agent. And it's like, well, if you look at, I've spent many time volunteering with both of them, out there with both of them. They're both, as people, they're good people, this and that. We can talk about that all day. But you get down to the politics.
Wait, you just said that, Jose, okay? Now, where you've been out and volunteered for both of them, and I'm not talking about their progressive voting records. What I'm talking about is, where did you volunteer with Vienna as opposed to where did you volunteer with Rodney?
No, litter crew, turkey drives. They were both at the turkey drives. We've been, different things. It wasn't like exclusively theirs stuff, but when you look at the politics of it, I think Cliff hit the nail on the head with that, where I looked at it as one is more of the, like Rodney got painted as the establishment politician, but in reality I felt, and everybody has their opinion, that it's more likely she's going to go with the leadership than he is.
Yeah, but how would that affect the vote of the people?
Well, because she had a certain appeal to her, where, the change agent, but people were looking at it on the personality, popularity contest type of thing. And the leadership right now here in Massachusetts tends to be more on a little bit further side than your run-of-the-mill everyday progressive, will you say. So those are the people that came. It wasn't about who won, it was about who is. We left 71,000 votes on the table here in Lowell.
Yep.
So it wasn't about who got elected because the people chose. It was about, like John stated, it was about who got their base to come out. And when you have 5 districts, I mean, I don't think either one of them broke. What did she get? Just a little over 3,000, which hats off
People
to her.
did not know to vote.
No. Drayton
Why did
had
all
what?
the administrations decide, don't text the voters?
I think Drake had what, under 700 voters or something like that? Really low, whatever it was. And a lot of the numbers I did were on Tuesday night, so obviously you wake up Monday morning and everything is, 200 votes here, 100
I got-
votes here.
2 quick texts here. Sorry, the text thing's broken. I can't put them on the screen. There was nothing shocking about Howard winning. She was calling people on election day, reminding them to vote. She had the machine in her back pocket. Okay, that's good. Rodney didn't. And the next text is, good morning. The machine keeps on keeping on with Havana in there. Everything stays the same, just like the speaker wants it. That's from Jay. Back to you guys.
See, we need to stop fearing that. I said it after my election and even during it. That machine, again, 71,000 votes were left on the table. How big of a machine and how much money? Somebody said to me about my election, how much did each one of their votes cost as opposed to yours? My votes cost me getting to meet people, getting to know people, networking. Yeah, they didn't show up for me this time, but a few more are going to show up for me next
Yeah,
time.
but Jose, I think that the fact that none of the administrations are going to be held accountable for not notifying the citizenry, I think every selectman should ask the town manager, and every city should ask the city manager, what did this election cost us?
Yeah, no,
Hey,
absolutely.
Melanie, how are you?
Hey,
Welcome back.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
Can I come in?
You go right in. Make yourself comfortable. Sit
I
right.
mean with you, man.
Nice to see you. Welcome back.
But that's the thing, though.
Nice to see you.
We need to stop this whole the machine. The people are the machine. If 25% of the people would have showed up, that's a different ballgame. I mean, to me, it's how do we change and this is a
No, the
unicorn.
reason that the administration won't say anything because it's a democratic machine.
Yeah, but see,
We're not going to say anything against our God.
But if you look at people, sometimes the way people talk, like Rodney has been a Democrat for
How would you know about
30 years.
Winterfest if
Huh?
the city didn't? How would you know about Winterfest if the city didn't tell you?
Yeah, no, absolutely.
Good morning.
How you doing?
Happy New Year.
So
good
good to
morning.
see ya.
Cliff.
Morning.
Happy New Year.
Melanie's
I saw Cliff
here.
the other day.
Welcome back, Melanie.
Thank you.
Oh, is that
Glad to be
Melanie?
here.
Wait, all right.
Hello, Eileen. Happy New Year.
We're gonna
Melanie,
take
welcome
we're gonna
back.
take a second here. The next election is 3 March.
Mm.
And this is for all the marbles.
Yes, and then they have to run again. Oops.
Oh.
Yeah, thank you. Oh, these are
Ooh.
fancy and new.
These are,
Can I do this one?
yeah.
Okay.
Take that one for now.
Eileen, I'm taking your microphone.
Because these two need batteries.
Well, we're
John,
coming up
I
on-
like it. I like
Coming up
the,
on break.
I like the upgrades.
Thank you.
Look what happens when I'm not here.
They're really nice. Well, he was trying to get you to come back. He's like, maybe I'll get some nice microphones.
And it works.
You know?
So-
Throw new
You
tech at
didn't
me
get
and
the
I'm all
pictures he
yours.
sent you? Like-
John, when's the election?
March 3rd.
Good. We need to keep pounding that.
Okay, so we're going to go to break.
All right.
And what we're looking at here, this is the Mark Clay generators. Generating this morning.
Whoa. Oh, you have a camera on them now, too?
Well, no, I just moved the camera. I saw it yesterday. I thought it was a big fire. And it had been going for over a day.
Nice. Wow.
We'll be back.
So they have the only muffins, because their oven works, but no fryers for their donuts. So I just stopped at Dunkin'.
We'll be good.
Yes, it will be good. And I brought a nice little array. So, the obvious, and then these are So you were talking about the election? And the lower
Where was my text message?
morning. No, the digital copy there.
That's a better idea, Cliff.
Somebody got hit by
Oh, yeah, over by your pool, right.
the irony. When I was thinking about the ink copy there. On our way
Good morning, everyone. Welcome to City Life Show. I'm Cliff Krieger, your host. Eileen Delrossi, my co-host, is on the phone. And
Morning.
Thank you. And we have Jose Cervantes here, and we have Melanie Gilbert.
Good morning.
And incidentally, Jose's the one with the tie, and Melanie's the one without the tie.
There you go.
And we have, of course, our producer, John McDonough. So,
Who's wearing a tie?
who's wearing a tie? Normally, John has the names lined up right with the people.
Oh, gotcha.
So,
making you think
Should we
today.
switch? Oh, no, that wouldn't work either. Oh, yeah,
No.
I would. But you can stay in the middle.
It's supposed to be boy, girl, boy.
No. We can switch.
it's okay. So,
I'll fix it.
we haven't seen you in a little bit. Melanie, how have you been?
Well, I have been splendid. You know, and I apologize, John. I'm wearing jeans, although they're hidden on camera.
I'm wearing jeans too.
I normally come in dress pants, but it is so bloody cold out there, and I have to take photos after I leave here. And jeans are the only thing that cut the cold, man.
It really, yeah.
And if it gets super cold, I might even put on my little, they're not long johns, but you know, they're the thin,
What are you
Best put 'em
photographing
on
today?
underneath.
what's that?
What are you gonna photograph?
The apple orchard. They're doing that construction over in Centerville with those $1 million homes where they leveled, the trees and brush and scrub on that 14-acre, I think it's 14 acres over there. Or no, it's 7 acres. And
Melanie, are you saying those $1 million homes? I thought they were supposed to be affordable housing.
nope, that is not affordable. Well, it depends on what income demographic you're in. Then it might be affordable. So if you're in the $1 million demographic, then you can afford those homes. Yeah, the last time I wrote on that development, they had just posted the houses for sale on the realty list, and they were $999 something thousand, and so I'm tracking that to see what's going on with that. And then of course I'm going to drive by Markley, because that ordinance should probably be on the city council agenda, I'm guessing, for Tuesday. And the council agenda posts around noon. So I've got all my little hot spots that I go to.
So, Elon Musk is going to solve the problem in Spaghettiville, right?
He's going to solve the problems where?
In Spaghettiville. He is
Because he's going to put them in space.
He's going to put him in
Well,
space.
I think, Melanie, this is Mark Lay this morning.
That's a great shot, John. Yeah, so what the neighbors say is that even though that looks like it's just, harmless vapor, that it actually deposits, water droplets on their homes and their cars and on them when they're walking in the neighborhood. So this is part of what, the ordinance is trying to address, is how do we regulate this sort of technology that's way out in front of us. This plant was approved back in 2015. And the conversation about data centers is just now catching fire.
Yeah.
And so, and I wrote a little piece about this. It's no slam against the planning board, I don't think the zoning board had anything to do with it, but the Conservation Commission or any of those land use bodies that approved this project, because I think it was so ahead of its time in terms of how communities were thinking about AI and data center development. But it's
Well, that's what I
there
think.
a lot of
Language,
unanticipated problems with that.
language is so important when you're reading a contract or when you're, looking at legislation, because if you leave anything open for interpretation, I have a hard time swallowing that pill.
Yeah, well, and I think they didn't even know, it's like that whole saw, you don't know what you don't know.
No, absolutely.
And I think, Markley, because they're in the tech business, I think they did see around corners.
Well,
They knew exactly what they were doing, but I don't think Lowell was up to speed, and now we're up to speed. But that cat is already out of the bag. That's one of the places I'm going to, I have my stepladder in my truck, or in my SUV, is that I'm gonna climb up on the ladder because those generators are huge. They are huge, and there's like 30, 20 something out of them.
Melanie,
Yes, sir.
have you ever used the term Luddite?
No, but I like that term. The New York Times just ran two terms that I don't see often. One was in Maureen Dowd's column, and it was WAGS, W-A-G-S, and it means the chattering classes. It's old-fashioned.
Yeah.
But, I love it. And then, I don't remember where I read it, the Washington Post, maybe catawampus. Catawampus, which means, a hot mess, basically.
Can you drag that mic a little closer to you, Melanie?
Oh, sure. Sorry. And no, I need to work that and WAGs and defenestration into my copy. And I'm going to give you a shout out when I do, Cliff.
Wags I'll definitely be using, that's for sure.
Yeah, a lot of it's an abbreviation for wives and girlfriends. Meaning about people who are spouses or whoever are playing around. But it's traditional British. I had to look it up because I didn't. I thought I knew what wags meant. It's kind of a Midwestern term. But somebody said, "Oh no, that means wives and girlfriends." I thought, no, it doesn't. But I guess it's been appropriated. That's what you're saying about language is that it can change.
Oh, have you seen how awful has become a term?
No. How awful is it?
Angry, white, female, urban liberals.
Oh, interesting. I love it when people.
Okay.
I'm never clever like that. I
Yeah.
can never come up with clever stuff like that. That's interesting. So we had quite the week with. You probably already talked about Vanna Howard. That's what you were talking about.
Yeah,
when-
when you
Yeah,
walked
but
in.
this is a sort of a different show, so I
Okay,
wanna
take it away, Cliff.
Well, I want to reintroduce it because the turnout was horrible.
Yeah, but still, she spanked him by 1,000 votes,
Yeah.
Yes.
which is.
I mean, I was shocked. I thought Rodney was going to win.
I had no beat on it, really. I had no idea. I knew they were both out there knocking on doors, doing the signage, doing the promotion, sending us things, which, I tried to be fair and put all their stuff in either the column or the 5-minute read and give them some exposure. And, the other candidates, they don't send me anything, and I can't really solicit. I can't say, oh, hey, Sam, or
Well, while you're on that,
Joe.
how should a candidate send you stuff?
just email it to me or text it to me. Both Rodney and Vanna are really good about just texting me or emailing me.
So Joe Espinola and Sam Meese should text
I can't
you?
solicit, candidates. I can't say, oh, do you have something you want to share with me? And so I just wait for them to share it with me. And my email is public. So whatever they send me, and Rodney and I think Vanna
So
can
would you
attest
tell
to
the audience what your email is?
M, as in Melanie, Gilbert, Gilbert, at lowellsun2ls.com.
Thank you.
Send it to me, and I will take care of you.
And I know at least one of the
There's
candidates
three
is
L's in
watching.
Lowell.
Oh, haha. You got to stay awake with this guy.
Yeah. I know at least one of the candidates is watching. If the other one is, if you didn't catch all that, let me know. I'll send it to you because I have her email.
Yep,
so
absolutely.
I can get it over to you. Take advantage of
give
it.
them a square deal, but I have to, again, it's what if you
Yeah.
don't know, you don't know. I'm
No,
not
absolutely.
gonna, I have enough content coming across my desk. I don't have to look for it. So if they don't send it, I assume they're not interested.
I think when it comes to elections, though, we really need to stop. I've said it a million times. I think I said it when last time me and you were on here.
I know it's been a while.
I
It's
know
Good to see you.
it's been. It was before even the primary, but I
Yeah.
think that we need to stop enabling people that don't vote, and by that I mean we tell them that they didn't vote because the Democratic machine don't want them to, because the city administration, or one way or another, we give them an out. Stop
Yeah.
it. No, get out there. You know what? At the end of the day, okay, so maybe the city manager didn't go knock on your door and hold
Yeah.
you by your hand to bring you to the polls. But at the end of the day, you're an American citizen.
Yeah, you have to be.
It's your job.
You have to educate yourself. And I thought, if anybody knows that better than anybody, it's Dan Finn, who lost by what was the final, 10 or 11 votes?
10 votes, I believe it was.
And, that's got to, you want close contests,
Yeah, but
but every vote counts.
With 5% voter turnout, like I said earlier in the first hour, how do you even gauge that?
Right.
You can't, and that's what people don't realize. So, he's a Democrat too. He's been a Democrat longer, representative.
Right. Right.
So, we need to, at the end of the day, I don't care how much money, and maybe I'm new to this, but we're changing that. I don't care how much money or how many names you have behind you.
Yeah. Oh,
I need to get the people behind me. 71,000 votes.
we talked about that a long time ago before the primaries. Is that do endorsements really count?
Oh.
And some of these candidates have great endorsements and nobody cares.
Well, that's the thing. Like
So-
your everyday person,
Yeah.
the when I leave here and I go to the market, do you think anybody in there, and I won't say names, gives a damn about any of the names that have come out, not just this election, but the previous one, endorsed?
Right.
They don't even know how.
It's very important to the candidates.
I didn't know who they were. Imagine
Right.
the regular person.
I get those emails all the time, and I print them, usually in the column. And I just say
71,000.
Vanau or Rodney,
Can
Vanau
can we
Howard.
pause for a second?
Sure.
You pronounce that differently than I do, and I wonder if you have some secret information.
Oh, for Vanau? Am I saying it wrong?
Hold on.
Vanna.
Vanna.
Vanna?
I say it the way
This
you
is
say it.
America.
It's like
in
Muhammad
Cambodia.
Ali when he was standing over,
Cambodia.
was it
Might
George
be something
Foreman?
else.
And he said, "Say my name."
Hey
say
kids,
my-
I got text I'm going to read here, whether you like it or not. So the text machine, I can't put them up on screen today. Long story, who cares about? Welcome back, Melanie. We missed you. That's
Aw,
from GW.
Thank you. I missed everybody too.
$900,000 homes that come with Duck Island aroma therapy. Interesting. And then another one says,
And
"Hi,
potentially
Melanie.
mudslides. Who
Hi,
knows?
Melanie. Let's see those hubcap-sized donuts." And
I wish I could, viewers. Gail Ann's, which is right near where I live, they open at 6 o'clock. I get there at 6:15 because if you don't get there early, you don't get donuts. And her fryer for her donuts was broken.
continuing with the text, what a
Sorry.
frightening about looking at the Markley building is that the city approved it and told its citizens it wouldn't be a burden. Is
Well,
the Markley project another example of money and profit over the people in their neighborhood? Shouldn't we be just as cautious about this UN deal as well? We will all regret the UN deal 10 years from now. That's from Bart. And
That's
then-
interesting. That's a interesting analogy.
Yeah.
And that's all the text I got. Back to you
Okay,
guys.
we'll go back to the Marklet building because I have some interesting questions about that.
So, real quick though, I think that I'm a curse to your donut shop. Because last time when we were on here, you walked in and you had, I think, Donut Shack. And you said, I wanted to go to the place. And you told, once you said that, like it's a little place down, it like triggered the memory. I could almost see you walking in. And I don't know if it was the fryer or
This
she
place
went on
that she has in
vacation.
her own neighborhood down in Boston,
Yeah,
oh my God, awesome donuts.
that's what I heard. That John
Yeah.
said that last time too.
It's run by, she's got to be in her mid-80s, and I think it's held together by duct tape and gum.
Those are some of the
Yeah,
best
and
places.
so there's a lot, yeah, absolutely.
Well, there's another good donut shop, Mark Kratman from Tewksbury. He'll bring in Donna's Donuts from Tewksbury. Oh, delicious.
You know who brought in the best donut, and I haven't been able to find it, and if Eileen remembers this, I can't remember his name. He was on the show, and he brought in lobster claws. They were
Well,
like...
beer claws.
No,
John
they were...
Curtis. John Curtis.
John Curtis, that's right, thank you, I knew she would know. And it was like
John Curtis went to heaven.
It was like a croissant, flaky crust, like a Pilo,
with
but
the
it,
stuff
did?
inside and the little powder.
yes.
Oh, they have those at the Olympus Bakery there.
Do they? Okay,
Oh,
I've been
they're
on
so
the hunt
good.
for them and they were huge.
You just got to make sure you eat them over the box. 'Cause
Yeah.
it's so flaky.
And it has that
so,
Boston cream in it or
yeah,
something.
the powdered donut. Oh, those are the best.
Those were the best.
I might
Gail
stop
Ann's comes in
there.
close. So I'll just have to come back and make sure that Gail has her fryer working. But,
All
sometimes she doesn't have enough people, so she doesn't open.
Well,
Back
So
to
it's a
the
very-
election.
Okay, go back to the elections.
Part of the problem with low turnout is the PTA.
What's
And
the
so-
PTA? What?
The Parent Teacher Association?
Yeah, Parent Teacher Association.
Oh, okay. Why?
Because they're no longer having bake sales.
That would get
I
me to show up
remember
to vote.
that. I remember I used to look forward to going with my mom because I couldn't wait to see what types of sweets they were selling, and there was always something, even if it was from Dick's Bakery that used to be on Bridge Street.
Well, the STEM Academy, one year when I was covering the election, they had a bake sale. And they had cupcakes, which I love. And I never make cupcakes. I don't know. It's not my thing. But when I find them, I'll buy them. And I think I bought 6 that day because I thought, these they're so tasty. So they still are holding bake sales in some.
You guys will get me hungry, but I think one of the biggest is complacency.
Yeah.
Complacency. And until we start really, and I've been doing that, until we really start pounding it into people's heads that they have nobody. I had a conversation with a couple of Republicans yesterday at the event, at the community teamwork event, networking event we had. And, we get to talking, and I kind of was just, spinning my web, and eventually they're like, Massachusetts is such a democratic state, we don't have a voice. And I'm like, yeah, but we're majority unenrolled. I'm not saying I want to turn Massachusetts into a Republican state, but you run a little faster when you have somebody chasing you.
Yeah.
The Republican Party's broke, doesn't care. They literally turned belly side up. They're happy that they got two new seats. So now they're happy with 5. They literally have no fire. And then the voters don't either, because you don't have to just vote for a Republican. There's a such thing as a more moderate, more conservative, more centralist Democrat.
Yeah.
I mean, historically, we have elected more. And anybody can correct me if I'm wrong. You guys know I tell you that all the time. There's a lot of stuff in this brain of mine. We have elected more Republican governors than we have had Democrat.
Yeah, I was going to say.
I'm sorry, kids, it's announcement time. So I got to put these announcements out there, like it or not. Tonight,
There he is.
Joe Espinola is having a party. He's running for state senate as an independent. Tonight, it's going to be tonight at Lindsay's. Be there or be square. Starts at 5 o'clock. He's got a QR code down here. Take your fancy phone out of your pocket, put it in the camera mode, and you can send Joe money right over your phone. Good guy. So that's his party's tonight at the Lindsay's Tavern. That's the part of the building that's closest to the road. 810 Merrimack Avenue in Delightful Drake. That's tonight from 5.
Oh, I like his Joe for Change. I like that. That's catchy.
Yep, moving right along here. Jose sent me this. It's mostly in Spanish, so Jose, tell the audience what we're looking at here, please.
Having a fundraiser for the Roberto Clemente League. We're trying to send the team down to Puerto Rico to represent Lowell in a tournament, a baseball tournament. So trying to raise some money. We need a lot of money to get those kids down there. Supposed to be a Tesco bar, but they have a frozen pipe, a broken pipe as of yesterday. So around noon today, check my Facebook page, and I'll give you an update, and we might have a change of venue. But please come out. It's for the kids. We got to get them down to Puerto Rico, get that tournament.
Have you reached out to the sports department at the Sun to do
No.
Okay, I'll send you the email.
Oh, please do,
Yeah.
because we're trying to, this league, we're going to have the team of Colombia
Okay.
come over.
Oh, wow.
Continuing with the announcements, okay? Out in
Invitation,
Mark
shake your
Kratman
hand.
sent me this, and they're going to have a Valentine's luncheon and buffet.
Ooh, roast beef.
$20 per person. You will leave that senior center very full. Very generous portions out there.
Friday
Always
the
a good-
13th.
Always do. Hey, it is what it is. So, good time to be had by all. If someone you know is celebrating 50 years of marriage, let us know. We would like to honor and celebrate all this fun and heartfelt event. And you can be in touch with Ginny. She's the mover and shaker out there at the Tewksbury Senior Center.
That's a great idea.
And her phone number's down there.
The way
Moving
he
right
talks
along
about them, I want to go. The food's very
Seriously,
delicious.
Don and I talk food all the time.
to another heartfelt event, the 2026 Dinner Dance, Open Your Hearts. It's going to be food, fun, raffles, silent auction at the Central Congregational Church, Worthing Street in Chelmsford on February 14th, 6 to 10 p.m. They have a QR code down here too. So just take your fancy phone out of your pocket and put it in camera mode, zero in on this little thing right here. It'll give you some more information. This is coming up, and this is a very controversial thing.
Yep.
The state has decided, like it or not, we're putting a rotary at the end of the connector. We don't care what the neighborhood thinks, but we're going to have a public hearing and act like we do.
Like a listening session. Then we're going to talk to you.
You have to register to attend this event. It's online, but you have to register it through. So take your fancy phone out of your pocket. If you care about the rotary at the end of the connector, some people love it, some people don't. I think it's a complete waste of money, but that's okay. I'll bring my opinion to the meeting. And so that's it, and it's coming up soon.
And next
February
week.
11th.
Yep.
Next
Tuesday?
Wednesday.
Oh, Wednesday, okay.
Next Wednesday.
Yeah, I had never seen a roundabout until I moved out east. We don't have them in the Midwest, and I think they're oversold. I think they're terrible for pedestrians, they're terrible for bicyclists. If you get a traffic backup, if you're trying to merge into a roundabout, you're out of luck.
Well, they're telling me it's going to prevent collisions at the end of the connector. I got news for you. If you have a truck driver that falls asleep coming down a low
The
connector,
roundabout's not going to stop
the
them.
only thing that's going to
Yeah.
stop him is that wall.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I don't know. The roundabouts, they seem like really big deal. And every time I drive one, I always think, really? Does this really work? I don't know.
The bottleneck happens every single day because of the traffic light at the corner of Elm
Yeah,
and Gorham.
right.
And Rita Mercia, I would contact Rita Mercia once every 90 days to reset that light so it stays green for 45 seconds. When it stays green for 45 seconds, there's no clog on the connector.
Oh, interesting.
But right now it's set to 30
I
seconds.
know that.
Me neither.
So you
I
got-
never go that way. I always take the Thorndike exit, even if it's out of my way, like to get here, because I don't even want to deal with that exchange.
Well, how is that gonna? I'm gonna have to look into that a little further because how's that gonna look, especially with all those units going up right there too.
Yeah.
Plus, they're taking away the driveways of the people at the end of the connector.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Taking away your driveway. And they say it's not a legal driveway. And they're like, they bought the house in 1956. They've had the driveway since they bought the house. And now you tell them they have an illegal driveway? Buy their house, baby.
Wow.
So hopefully at that meeting, there's a ton of people there. Because we can't keep saying that they
There
don't
won't
listen
be.
and people
They
don't
have
show
an
up.
Jose, they have an electronic plug. And they'll go like, oh, we lost the connection.
No, we got to change that. That's
Oops.
the thing. I'm naive. Yeah, I really am. Like I really
That's not
think that
naive.
I
That's just
really
being,
think that
you know.
that we have so much more. Like when they had the thing in St. Louis Park, they had come out. We want ideas. We want this. We have free food, and then they had the Mass DOT and everybody there taking suggestions. Everybody went there, got food. I was one of the only people that actually went up there and talked to the parks people and everybody else and gave suggestions. Like everybody just
Yeah.
showed up, grabbed the food, and got in the car and left.
Yeah.
I mean, it was a good, decent turnout, but like this place should have been flooded.
Yeah.
Like, I mean,
Yeah, that's a big deal for that neighborhood. Right.
that's what I mean. Like at the end of the day, that's why I said complacency. We're complacent. We need to stop. Like, I don't care how much money you have and how much weight your name carries. If you're not doing crap for us, see you later. Because you're not. I mean, 71,000 votes got left on the table this special election.
Yeah.
How much did each vote cost you? You know, as opposed to getting the people out there. We could make real change, but we need to stop being weak and whining about Bud Light offended me. Get out there and vote,
Yeah,
and then talk
yeah.
about your damn Bud Light.
Yeah.
If not, no Bud Light for you. You know, do something. Like we need to. Like I never seen America, at least when, like Americans being this, and I hate this, and I know I'm going to catch some heat for this, like being weak. Like stand up, vote.
Well, voting
stand
is your
up, get
biggest
involved.
superpower.
Yes.
Right. Yeah.
Like voting is that punch. You're out here playing slapsies on social media. Nah, get out there. If you're sick of the governor, stop complaining. Get the governor out.
Right. Well, show
But
up
they
and
won't.
vote. Yeah.
They
vote.
won't.
Right.
The governor has $4 million in her reelection account.
Yeah, but what does
$4
that...
million.
Look at how many votes she left on the table last election. Look at the election we had for Elizabeth Warren.
$4 million.
Republicans and conservatives
She can
wanted
give
an out.
everybody
They
10
should have
she can
gotten
give
her
everybody
out.
$10.
Yeah,
You
she
know,
ain't
with your
giving
race,
anybody-
you came close. You didn't have a lot of funding.
I refused to get
Right,
endorsement. I
and
had
so,
one event.
I don't know that endorsements, and of course it helps. It doesn't hurt. Let's put it that way. But it's really getting out door to door, face to face, talking to people, and connecting with them. And I don't think that's that's called what they call retail politics.
Getting people to care.
And I don't think
that's it.
I don't think candidates do that as effectively anymore.
And people don't care.
So, all right, Cliff, what else have you got for us?
Sorry, 'cause I'm surprised he didn't. I was gonna bring up the NCOG thing too, but go ahead, Cliff.
LT Low Transitional Living Center, they're in trouble with the city council?
Yeah, I think they egged my car when I was driving down Middlesex Street. No, I'm joking. They've got some challenges. They're like any other business, whether they're a nonprofit or not. They have to abide by the ordinances and codes for the city of Lowell. And every year, for a couple years now, they've failed their inspections. And I think, if you failed your food inspection and you were running a restaurant, they'd close. I'm pretty sure they'd close you until you
Yeah.
got your stuff up to snuff.
Right.
And that didn't happen, because they're providing a public service and it's just those homeless people. That's not me talking. I'm taking that
Well, wait,
attitude.
what's the alternative?
Well, I know. Well, the alternative is to do your work. And, and then they didn't comply with cleaning up the debris and the trash outside the center because they line up between 6 and 8. I can't get a firm figure for the walk-ins. And, so they might be standing there for a couple hours and they might be eating and I don't know. But apparently there's a ton of trash and we had a picture that showed a syringe on the sidewalk. So, it's not working. The format that they're deploying isn't effective. It's questionable whether it's effective for the homeless people. It's definitely not effective for the neighborhood.
The shelter does not have an end game.
Right, and so
It's perpetuating itself.
right, and so well, and that's a much bigger conversation. But in the meantime,
Well, the
Wait,
manager
how long
needs.
can you stay in the shelter?
in their
Months? Years?
yeah, in their semi-permanent, or I think they call it transitional housing. There are people
Yeah.
who've been living there 4 years.
Yeah.
So because they have the shelter, which is overnight emergency, and then they have the transitional living. That's why it's called that. So there's a whole apartment area.
Melanie,
where-
Ralph Hogan suggests that you kindly ask, kindly ask Melanie to look into why natural gas was not utilized to fuel the backup generators.
Oh,
A
I did write
clean,
on that. Yeah.
Quiet solution compared to diesel fuel.
They said that to run I can't remember that's a really great question. And we did report on that. And Markley, I always get him confused with Senator Markey. Markley said that to run a natural gas line that's big enough to be a backup generation, they'd have to dig up tons of streets, and that the line that's currently there isn't big enough.
Because we're in Massachusetts, we're against gas pipelines.
Yeah, and then they also said...
Unless it's power coming from Canada.
Okay, well, and I didn't really understand this piece of it, but they also said that they'd have to have an LNG tank on site anyway, which would also be like a bomb. And I'm just using that terminology because that's the language that the neighbors used about these roughly 30 diesel generators, diesel fuel generators, that is like 170 gallons of diesel fuel in their backyard. So
Yeah.
I believe, I can't confirm, and Markley said that wasn't the case, but I believe a portion of their downtown facility is fed by natural gas, because they're 1 block from National Grid. down there.
Eileen, I'm sorry. Melanie, where do people want to put these data centers?
Yeah, there's, right.
If we put these data centers and the people working there live in Lowell, will that, if it's away from Lowell, will that not result in a lot more miles driven?
Well, data centers aren't like warehouses. They don't traditionally employ a lot of people. And I'd be curious, I think that's one of the things the city council needs to drill down on, is are they meeting their agreement to provide jobs? And I can't remember, and you're catching me off guard, I don't have my notes in front of me, but I think they were supposed to bring online 100 jobs, and right now they have, like, to get their TIFs and ties. So I don't think they're at 100. So what do we do if they don't get to 100? Like, there's really no, what's the sanction? You're gonna take away their generators?
I think
Put them in
that
timeout?
to what you said there, the question, I think that there's people out there right now that the best place for a data center is no place for a data center.
Unless it's space, if you're
Yeah,
Elon
like
Musk.
they don't want them. So as much as the fight with your everyday neighbor is about, the droplets and the noise and the dirt piles, there is a core group of people that, they're looking at the environmental effects of it. The water that it takes to cool it, the fossil fuels. So there is a increasingly growing group of people that the best place for a data center is no place for a data center.
So, do these Luddites,
I like that. I like what you did there.
This guy.
do they realize that China, by investing in this, will end up crushing us?
Yeah, I don't think anybody, what I'm hearing from the neighbors isn't tear down the data center or don't build a data center. What I'm hearing and what I'm reporting from the neighbors is that don't cut us out of the conversation. And, cooperate and collaborate with us on solutions that affect our quality of life. Please don't run the generators at 2:00 in the morning.
Yeah, that's
or,
ridiculous.
whatever, I can't remember all their complaints. And, the noise, put on noise abatement measures. Do pollution abatement measures that aren't the minimum because you're in the middle of a densely packed environmental justice neighborhood. And I feel like the neighbors have felt like that they're not really listened to and that the company has been very, deal with it.
Smug
Yeah,
about
just
it.
deal
Like
with
I've seen them go in there and talk, and they just might as well be the OPM of the high schools. They're just like, yeah, okay,
Yeah.
so what are you going to do about it?
Right, and what are we
Well,
going to do about it?
And that's the thing, like I said, the neighbors in themselves, like, the person across the street, they're not shut this down. But there
No,
is
I
a
don't
group
think-
of people, it's like when you can go subject by subject. Not everybody wanted to literally get the cops off the street, but we pushed defund the police. They just wanted reforms.
Well, and you see that,
things
right.
like that. Like not everybody at those protests that you talk to isn't necessarily want to abolish ICE. They just don't think we should have masked people literally ripping people out of cars without a warrant. Follow the laws. But there is a group of people that like data centers are their biggest target right now. They're the devil.
Right,
because
and I
of
think
the
you
water
see
and
that
all
in any
yeah.
conversation
Oh,
where
this
there
is-
hasn't been a conversation, it's either or.
Yeah,
And
which
it becomes very didactic and very
let's
Let's
confrontational.
slide over to DHS and ICE and all that. The Senate Minority Leader gave a list to the President. They want to protect sensitive locations, prohibit funds from being used to conduct enforcement near sensitive locations, including medical facilities, schools, child care facilities, churches, polling places.
they should-
Why are polling places a sensitive location? What illegal immigrants are hanging around polling places?
I think it's just the message, and I wrote on this last year. Well, maybe it was back in September during the primary when ICE was active during Operation Patriot 2.0, and they were mustering in the streets of Lowell right around our primary, our September primary, and I thought that was inappropriate. I don't think you
Wait,
should
why
be...
is it inappropriate?
Well, because I said you shouldn't have enforcement around polling places at
Wait,
all.
why would,
Well, whether they're illegal immigrants voting or not, I don't know that even, I
there
felt
should
like
be
it was...
no illegal immigrants around polling places.
But if they live around there,
But according to the Supreme Court, all you have to be is you have to look like an illegal, and they can snatch you off the street. So Jose could be going to the polls, and because he's Hispanic looking, they're profiling him, they can snatch him off the street and he can't exercise his legal right to vote. So this is where the conversation about ICE, there are these competing rights, and they don't really have, they've just sort of here's a fun fact. I used to work for U.S. Customs, And back in the day, U.S. Customs was under the Department of Treasury. And there was the Customs, which did drug enforcement, and that's where I worked. I was not an officer, I did support. And then there was Border Patrol. And Border Patrol, even within Customs, was considered the dummies. Like the lunkheads, the guys who
The muscle, the meat
like-
and potatoes, how they call it.
yeah, the
meat and potato.
meatheads. They were the ones who were the chest thumping guys who would go out and they worked the border, and those are tough jobs. But they brought that mentality to, for instance, the Detroit border. So we would get guys, and at that time they were mostly guys, and usually they had mustered out of the military, and veterans always get preference in government hiring. So if they meet the minimum qualifications, which at that time was a high school diploma and perhaps Spanish, I don't know, but they would...
Well, there's a large number in ICE who are...
Latino.
Latino.
Yeah, well, because they're probably coming from the border. So ICE became, now it's called ICE. They made Border Patrol the head of what used to be called Customs, which is now ICE. And I think that's why you're not seeing the professionalism in the ranks, because they're pulling these guys, mostly guys, who are used to working the border where it's kind of a no man's land. You're not really supervised. There's not really that same oversight or transparency. You have wide latitude because you're defending the homeland, and they're bringing that mentality to the interior. And we had those same problems in Detroit. We would get guys who would transfer from Brownsville, Texas, which was a hellhole of drug smuggling and cartel activity, and they would come to Detroit and bring that in your face, to the Detroit border, where you
the
have a
door
nurse
down,
coming
ready to
across
go,
from
yeah.
Ontario to work at Henry Ford Hospital. What are you doing here? And there were a lot of complaints, and you can't manage. We're in the interior. We're with a friendly border with Canada. You can't bring that Brownsville mentality.
Melanie, you said
And
you
I think
worked,
they're doing that, and they're in charge. So.
you worked for a federal agency.
Yep.
What was the name of it?
Customs.
Okay, did they teach you how to talk to civilians?
Well, I wasn't on the front line, but
just
yes,
asking
they
you
they
that
went down. They
question.
had a whole training academy where they did training on all sorts of skills, including
Do you have to take the
public
training?
facing. What?
Do you have to take the training?
Yes. Oh, it's part of it's before you get placed.
So
for
why
sure.
isn't one chastised for not mimicking the training?
Well, that's the $1 million question, John.
That's-
That's exactly right.
That's what I brought up, that people are yelling abolish ICE, and I got you, but there's things that, that's the extreme. There's so many things that we can be calling for that we can get, that it's like body cams, take the mask off. If you're doing your job, but they're worried about getting doxxed. You're worried about getting doxxed when you're ripping a child, when you're flashbanging a car with kids in it.
Right, they're using
If
military
you go
grade
up,
weapons.
if I'm doing my job and I have a legal warrant for deportation, knock on your door. If I have to chase you down, that's on you. Do my job. What are you gonna dox me about? Serving a warrant? Go ahead.
Well, why didn't they have the body cameras from day one?
I don't know.
That's what they got
right.
emboldened.
Well,
They
I
got
do, and this is
emboldened.
my
Wait,
point.
I want to back up a second.
I got
Okay.
10,000 texts when you're ready.
Yeah.
I bet. Let's bring it.
Why do people, we're pulling 700 agents out of Minnesota,
Out of
according
like
to...
2,000, I think. Yeah.
So they're pulling the agents out because they don't need them anymore, because we finally have a process that Governor Tim Walz and Mayor Fry have both been opposing. Why do we not attribute some portion of the problems to those two individuals who have been resisting?
Well, I think, two wrongs don't make a right. So if Jacob Frey and, what's that for the governor's
Waltz.
name?
Tim Walz.
Are,
Tiny Tim.
Yeah, if they're idiots, I think but they're state level idiots. I do think we expect the federal government to show a little bit more decorum and discretion, and they're not. And that's my
Yes.
point about the Border Patrol. The Border Patrol, in their traditional role at the border, was never sophisticated, because it was a tough posting in tough environment. You're along the scrub of the border where there's no shade. It's hot. It's dangerous. It's a really grueling work, and I think they were sort of off the leash.
And then
But it was the border, and so, there wasn't a lot of oversight. Now you bring that mentality and that military mindset. The only thing I haven't seen in their kit is a rocket launcher, for God's
Yeah,
sake.
I know John's going to want to go to the text, so I'm going to make this real quick.
Good.
But at the end of the day, so we can sit here and we can blame Tim Waltz and we can blame Fry, and they are accountable to a degree.
Sure.
But how much blame are we putting at the administration?
Yeah, the
I mean,
governor
we
didn't
can't
kill
keep-
anybody.
We can't keep doing that. We can't keep.
Ooh.
We can't keep on both
Not
sides.
proven.
We cannot keep saying, "Well, it was the Democrat. It was they both dropped the ball."
Yeah.
And so I don't hear that enough from either side, where it's like, well, Walt shouldn't have been out there calling for people to show up and be aggressive, and you know what? He shouldn't have been emboldened in ICE. We tend to just gravitate to it's your fault and it's nobody else's. No, they both dropped the ball, and I mean that's the reality, and we need to. Sorry, John.
All right, Don, read the text messages. Let's see what your viewers are good. They're spot on.
First of all, put my microphone back near my mouth. This is a picture of what the connector was supposed to be in the 1960s.
Oh, wow. Who sent you that? Is that you?
Jay sent this into us.
Oh,
this morning.
Jay. Hello,
he
Jay.
So you can see, this
Jay's
is the
on
low
point.
connector. What it did was it plowed through the whole neighborhood down here, getting down to Lawrence Street and terminating on, looks to be Merrimack Street in downtown.
Oh, interesting,
I
Jay.
missed the connector.
And so the neighborhood fought them, and the state had to end it on Gorham Street. That's what happened in the 60s.
Interesting. There's always a story.
Monday City Life, we got Cliff, Eileen, Frew, and Mike Smith. Who don't get
Cliff,
some
you're
of
on
it.
Mondays too? I didn't know that. Has that always been the case?
So
Are
I'm
you
going to
always
read you
Mondays
these
and
texts
Fridays?
because
Since George Anthes passed
I can
away.
shut your microphones off if you want, but
And I come in with the talent, Melanie.
I'm telling you, Eileen, you know who
That's
to
it.
associate
He's
with.
cutting the mics. That's
you got to
it.
shut up, kids. I'm going to do these texts, okay? We asked for texts, I'm going to read them. In the news, it's not at the border, it must mean it's closed. President Trump border solution is working. The problem started with the previous administration. It was the media had any guts, they would tell us that. The city's up in arms over the church near the South Common about trash, et cetera. It should apply here. Moving right along. Why are there peaceful protesters allowed to hide their faces? And
I don't think anybody should be hiding their face, public or law enforcement.
well, it's COVID.
Well, I mean, if you want to wear a mask, but now
That's
they're
going to be the last one. I think I lost a couple. Sorry.
So
Okay, staying with ICE,
okay.
how is the city doing on
Lowell?
cleaning out the snow and ice?
Well,
Crappy?
depends on who you ask.
Go ask the people in the acre.
Yeah.
Ask
I
us.
feel for them. Yeah.
Ask us. Real quick though, before we get too sidetracked. So somebody said about the previous administration. I'm
agree
going to
with
talk
that.
really fast.
Yeah.
I had an interview where we touched on immigration and protest, and I said in that interview, this administration, the previous one, and the previous one before that, they all sucked. When you had 16 million undocumented people here in the country with no path to work permits, citizenship, deport them, whatever extreme you want to go to.
Right.
You bring 20 million in under protective status,
You're gonna have trouble. Yeah.
and then you have somebody that's not afraid to antagonize. What did you expect?
We have a broken immigration system.
Oh, we do.
Period.
So
this
neither
is
side, nobody has provided me with any
Well, is
type of
the
immigration
media
reform.
calling for Elizabeth Warren to create a path to citizenship?
Well, we had an opportunity to call for that in 2024, so
No,
we could
because
get
we're
rid
a
of her.
Democratic state. Everything Elizabeth Warren does is golden.
We
Well, I
coulda
think we
gotten
have
rid
to
of
cut the
her.
Gordian knot about pointing fingers and just say, make the Congress. They should shut down the Congress
They should.
until they come up with a sensible immigration plan.
Yes.
There has to be a path to citizenship.
That's a tough
and it's not easy.
conversation.
I
The
don't know how long
media
it took
has,
you.
the media has to chastise elected government officials until this happens.
We need to do it at the polls.
Cliff has something important to say.
Well, my brother-in-law is from Colombia, and it took him almost 8 years to become a citizen.
I just became a citizen 8 years ago. I've been here since I was
And how long did it take
2
you?
years old.
Right. That's weird. He's highly educated. He's employed. He came over on a student visa to attend college in the United States, then got employed by a company that gave him an HB1 or whatever
Yeah, the
visa.
HB1 visa,
And that
yeah.
entire process, he got his green card.
You want to answer that phone, Cliff?
No,
No, Cliff has something to say. Us.
Gotcha.
You got 10
Cliff
It
has an
takes a
important-
long time. He's one of the
Okay,
people.
kids, quiet. Let Cliff's gonna talk.
Okay, Cliff, go for it.
She come in at 6.
so,
Yeah.
someone mentioned to me that the website used to say that the city would clear sidewalks some distance back from all the schools. And
Okay.
that's no longer there. So Eileen, is the city supposed to be clearing the sidewalks near the schools? Eileen?
Sorry, I'm here. Yes, they should be. There's just minimum paths. I live across from the Robinson and McAuliffe, and we just got slammed with snow. And I as did every neighborhood, but it's impossible. Like, you think you're in a school district, so both sides of the street would be a necessity and not put on the homeowner. But I got one of those letters that, I mean, I just physically can't do it because of my back, and it was like heavy and icy.
Yeah.
I did the sides, like, for the mailman to get in, a walkway from the driveway over. But the other side was just like too much.
So can
But
I ask
we
you-
got a letter saying that we're responsible for clearing that all up. But then the plows are throwing it all right back on there.
Yeah.
So
Eileen, can I ask
it's-
you, why were the principals snow blowing the paths in front of the school if it's a responsibility of the city?
I don't know. I also saw the custodians shoveling down the stairs for the Robinson and the McAuliffe, where the ones that go onto Bridge Street.
Oh, right, yeah.
The city can bitch
So
and
why
moan all
was
they
that
want.
happening? Why didn't the city come in with better equipment?
Why don't the city hire competent help? If you take a look at your TV screen right now, this is the Rogers School. It's not down in Florida, it's the Rogers School. They don't have a snowbank out front. Why? Oh, they got 20 inches of snow. The guy by the name of Dick Kulik, he's the head of the custodial people here. He knows how to take care of snow.
Yeah, there you go. That's a
Why
really
don't
good point, John.
Why don't we ask Mr. Kulik, Mr. Kulik, what are you doing right, we're doing left?
Well, so the city council needs to have him come and speak to them.
No, they just need to talk to, this guy's doing a fantastic job.
Well, it's interesting that you're mentioning this, John, because it didn't run in today's paper. I was hoping it would, but it's going to be in tomorrow's paper about how the school, you missed a hot meeting Wednesday night, Eileen. I was proud of your school committee members for throwing it down and saying, yeah, we do not support this home rule
That-
petition for the city to
and
take over.
The city honestly can't do that, because I looked into it significantly in May and June when it got brought up. There's no way the city can do this without a school committee approval.
Right.
So they're making threats.
Right. It's very bullying. And Fred Bahu said that. He said, we're not going to sit here and get bowled over. And I thought the city has a lot of nerve to go to the school committee and say, hand us over all your maintenance and your custodial things when they can't even clear the snow. So
And
it's,
I'm like, listen, you want to make it efficient and effective,
sure.
and
right.
like,
Everybody should
go
be on
for
board
it
with
all
that.
day long, talk about it. But there's a significant difference in adopting this bill that would give the city all administrative rights.
Well,
And I could not find any model that it was successful.
In their defense, they have been trying to have this conversation about a facilities
But they
department
have
for
been
quite
having it.
some time,
Yeah.
but
But
there hasn't been any
here's my
really
question.
progress
Well,
on
'cause
it.
Is
I
the
mean,
man from Oz all of a sudden, now that we
Oh.
pretend we're all like, oh, okay, yeah, let's do this, right? What's going to happen? Is the man of Oz going to press this magic button and create something that's going to work? The city council's the first to say, we don't even know how this would work. But wait, you got all the school's money and administrative functions now. So how do we know it would even be a priority? Because then they are the bigger stakeholder in this, and it ultimately takes away the school committee.
Well, you can tell
function.
Eileen
and
is
it's
hot.
no secret.
5
it's
minutes.
no secret that the city council does not want a school committee.
Right, yeah. Tell us how you really feel, Eileen.
That's it.
I think they-
Okay,
I
this
think I
is
got
it.
it all out.
Good for you.
Break. Democracy dies in darkness.
I would say democracy dies in ignorance, and if that's darkness, then I would agree.
Give me a sword and
A
a horse.
third of the Washington Post staff
Oh, yeah.
is being laid off.
Bye-bye.
What's going on?
They don't buy the paper.
Well, I
Put this slide up, John, please.
a slide.
What slide?
The one I sent you. Text.
This guy is nothing if not thorough.
Oh, God help
Yes.
us.
He
Okay, I'll
has-
go looking for it, Cliff.
You
Thanks.
should be a professor. Have you taught?
Yes.
I thought so. Yeah.
I was-
would take
I
your class.
was
He
Cliff.
taught in Washington, the War College.
Do your
Chairman
students have
chair
a
of the
support group?
National War College.
So-
I drive him crazy when I'm on. I talk too much and go too much.
I was a
But he
former
has a
student
good
of
time,
Cliff
right,
Krieger.
I do.
Hi, my name is. No. Sorry.
We're waiting for the slide, I guess.
It
Oh,
ain't
All right,
coming.
Eileen,
And it's not
so what's
happening.
going on with the Washington Post? I mean, Jeff Bezos is pouring money into it?
Well, I think traditionally newspapers haven't made money. You know, when the Eugene Meyer owned the Post before Don Graham sold it to Bezos. I think Eugene Graham's daughter, Catherine Graham.
Yeah.
She was married to the publisher Philip Graham. So Eugene Meyer gives the Post or sells the Post to his son-in-law, who was married to his daughter. Phil Graham dies by suicide. His daughter takes over the paper at a really hard time. She's the one who published the Pentagon Papers after the New York Times was enjoined by the Supreme Court not to do, I don't know if it was Supreme Court, but anyway, she gives the paper or sells the paper to her son Don, who sold the paper to Jeff Bezos. So I think when you're a family-run paper, I think you have the tendency to build in a lot of fluff.
Yeah.
Because it's family-run, you
No,
know?
absolutely.
And I think that's part of the conversation we're having about low municipal operations. There's a really great side to being a family-run municipal government. For instance, my story tomorrow about the Board of Health sanctioned a $6,000 fine on Northwood Rehab.
I seen I watched the meeting.
Right.
Yeah,
When you
yeah,
say
that was-
sanctioned, what do you mean by
They
that?
fined them $6,000 because they had a mound of trash out their back door that Matt Sheehan
Did they
said
pay
was-
it or did they forgive it?
Oh, they have to.
I'm going to follow up on
They
it.
said they have to. I watched the meeting, and they said they have to because that's going to come out of their.
Well, if they
their
don't pay it,
taxes or
it'll-
whatever.
it'll
so
be assessed.
They're getting the money no matter
Right.
what. But they went by. They told them clean up the trash. They go back there a week later or whatever it was, a couple of days later. It was actually more trash instead of cleaning because they weren't
Right.
paying their.
We'll show you trash.
They
Oh, yeah.
weren't paying their bill.
Yeah.
Corporate wasn't paying the bill, which is a nice way to cut costs.
My mom was at Northwood too.
Oh,
It's a
no. Well, what
not
I-
now, but
Yeah, my
it's a
uncle's
decent
there.
facility.
He loves it.
Well,
Yeah,
what's
good
interesting about
facility.
that story to
Jose,
me,
take that mic, turn it on its side, and grab the one in front of you.
Oh.
so what's interesting about that story is that Matt Sheehan said it was an anonymous tip from a family member of a client at the Northwood Rehab. And what you love about Lowell is that people know people.
Yeah.
So that person, whomever they were, picked up the phone and called Matt Sheehan. I mean, have you ever tried to break through to bureaucracy? You don't know who to call. And that's a wonderful thing about Lowell. Don't mess with people because they know people.
Yeah.
But at the same
Yeah.
time, Lowell might know too many people and they're loath. Everybody's laying off people except municipal governments. I
No,
mean,
that's
Lowell hasn't
true.
said boo about, I don't want people to lose their jobs.
You're gonna get John started with the. You gotta hire your. We don't have time for that. As much as
Gotta
I
hire
love
my
that
friend.
You gotta hold people
conversation.
accountable, and I think that's been really
We-
hard.
So was the Washington Post
90 seconds.
staff
Overstaffed?
wrong in their rabid anti-Trumpism and telling people not to buy the paper with the new editorial policy?
Well, I mean, we're talking about people voting, and, you know, people voted with their subscriptions. I don't begrudge them that. That's the way they sent a message, and maybe it backfired, but I think there are a lot of businesses and a lot of companies and a lot of governments that are overstaffed. And I think we're in an era of downsizing.
I don't watch the NFL Network and get mad when they don't give me an update on the Red Sox game.
So, before we go,
That's the
Melanie,
reality.
Yeah.
Super Bowl, what are you going to eat while you're watching Super Bowl?
What am I going to eat?
Yeah.
I love chips and salsa.
Okay. Jose, what are you going to eat during the game?
I'm gonna cook a feast. I'm making a rib roast.
I'm sorry, I
some
back up.
mashed
I'm going to Jose's
potatoes.
house.
Okay. Cliff, what are you going to eat?
Whatever my wife decide.
Cliff's gonna have Rice Krispies. Okay. Everybody have a good weekend. Go Patriots. Thanks
Thank
for
you,
watching.
John. Go
Have a
Patriots.
good
see
one,
you next time,
everybody.
Good to see you guys.
Bye, Eileen.
Next time we come on,